Boulang? Awesome.
So Brandy is going to be attempting to train Boulang, our male Malayan tiger, through the training window. Our training windows are new, so this is kind of an experiment to see if he'll actually participate. Normally we do the training outside, but because of the weather, and because he would natively be from a tropical climate, we're not going to force him to be outside in this kind of weather for a training demonstration. So we'll see how willingly he responds here.
You don't want to reach your hand in there?
We do not hand feed our cats. To be as safe as possible for us and for the cats, we don't hand feed them, we don't touch them, and we do not go in with the adults unless they're under anesthesia. So we installed these windows with the hope that if there's bad weather, we can still do a training demonstration. And eventually we'll probably be doing them year-round. Right now we do weekends, and then starting Memorial Day through Labor Day, we do them every day at 2:30. So it is a new thing for him to have the window open. It enables the cats to smell and hear a lot more clearly what's going on in the hallway, so that's a big difference to them. So that tends to kind of spook them a little bit. It's also a different material than our cats have. We don't have the braided steel on the tiger displays, so to them it's a different setup as well. All the behaviors that we teach our cats are designed to help with animal husbandry, just taking care of the cats better, and with veterinary procedures. So we do not teach like just tricks or anything like that. They're all stuff that's going to help us in the everyday care of this cat. So the first thing we try to work on with them is to come when called, and then we teach them to target. So you can see Brandy has a stick with a tennis ball on the end of it. That's called a target stick. Cats are naturally curious, so they investigate it. So whenever they touch their nose to the tennis ball, you'll hear a whistle, and that means you did something right. And we use the target stick to teach new behaviors. He's drooling. Our training also helps us build a better bond with the cats. Every single cat and bear here has an assigned primary trainer, so Brandy is Boulang's primary trainer. And the way we have it set up is the primary trainer is the only person who ever teaches a cat something new. So that's why Brandy is the one at the window and not me or Brian, because she is his primary trainer. And this is something odd. We want him to have the person he's most comfortable with being the one up there with him. But any of us on the crew can act as secondary trainers. So any behavior that Brandy has taught to him that he knows can then be trained by one of our other keepers. Boulang is a Malayan tiger. They're one of the smaller types of tigers. There's actually 8 subspecies of tigers left in the world. If you've seen our Siberians, there's one in the center yard, and then there's one next door to the left. The Siberians are the largest kind of cat in the world. So if you look at Boulang here, and then you either look across the way at Yorgi, our male Siberian, or look down at Nika, the female Siberian, you can see the size difference. Our Siberians are going to be a good bit heavier. They're also taller and have shaggier fur. So one way you guys can kind of tell them apart is Boulang here looks sleek. He looks like he's got a shorter coat that's pretty well groomed. Siberian tigers look a little shaggier. They're built for colder weather, so they're built to have the nice heavy fur coat and stuff, versus these guys are from more tropical climates. Whenever he does up like that, that allows us to examine the stomach and both front feet at the same time. That way we can check for any injuries he might have there, and we can also check the condition of his pads and claws on his front feet. We can train them also to present their front left or their front right foot individually. If we notice that they're not maintaining their claws themselves, we can actually trim them for them. And the paw behavior also would allow us to put like an ointment or something on their foot if they had cracked pads or something. Our training is entirely voluntary on the cat's behalf there. So it's up to Boulang if he wants to participate and how much he wants to do. We use only positive reinforcement during our training sessions. We want it to be as good of an experience as possible so he's more likely to come back the next time we want to train him. And the happier they are to see us, the better it is for us. Whenever he walks side to side, that allows us to examine his stride and make sure he's not limping. It also allows us to check for any injuries like scrapes or anything like that on his sides. We can also check his body condition really well that way. We have a staff of nutritionists on grounds that actually rate all of our cats' body condition on a scale of 1 to 5. And they determine, based on activity level and body condition, exactly how many ounces of meat each of our cats gets. We have 2 fast days a week where most of our cats do not get fed, so it more closely resembles like what would happen in the wild, because in the wild they're not going to eat every day. But one thing that a lot of people think about the tigers, they look skinny. Tigers are built differently than domestic cats, so that can be a little distracting when you look at them. But to be perfect condition, like Boulang here is in really good physical condition. They actually should go in at their hips, and they should go up after the stomach. So they look almost more like a dog in their physique, where they have those slender points to them. So if you look at them from above, they have a pretty distinct kind of hourglass figure, but they go in right at their back hips. So it looks different than a domestic cat. But one way to tell that he's in great physical condition and not too skinny is you cannot see his spine, and you cannot see any defined bones on him. Like, you can see his muscles when he moves, but you're not going to see like the bones of his spine or his ribs. So that's when he presents his front left foot there. And like I was saying earlier, we use the target stick to train new behaviors. So for Andy to teach him to stand up, she made him target higher and higher and higher until he had to be standing and touch the target stick. And then she cut out those in-between steps. And to teach him to lie down, we do the reverse of that. We make them target lower and lower until they're most comfortable lying down to touch the target, and they go down. To teach them to present their front feet individually like that, she would hold the target stick in one hand, and while he was sitting, she slowly arced the ball away from him. So he leaned to reach it, and as he would lean, it would naturally take the weight off of one of his front feet, causing it to lift, and that's what we have to get that behavior, so that he knows to lift that leg. A lot of our job is kind of convincing the cats that what we want them to do is actually what they want to do. Because like if he did not want to cooperate, there's nothing we can do each time. You know, we can't go in there. It's not like when you're training a dog or a cat, like a house cat, where like if you want a dog to sit, you can push down on his butt. He will not let us do that. So we have to find creative ways to get them to do the cadence.
With those, they're dead. We do have 2 fast days. Maybe hunt in the wild and be successful.
We also train all of our cats for hand injections. In the past, anytime one of our cats was sick, the vets had to come down and use a full syringe or a blow dart to administer anesthesia. Now, most of our cats are trained to lie down alongside the fencing, and we can actually hand inject the anesthesia directly. We can also use that for their yearly vaccinations. These guys get distemper shots, what their house cat does. And so now we can just hand inject the distemper shot instead of having to use the full syringe or the blow dart. It's a lot less stressful for the cat. And they get treats the whole time, so they like it more as well. And anything we can do to make it safer for us to be there around us, we try to do. So by being able to hand inject the anesthesia during a training session, it means that the cat goes under anesthesia much smoother. So there's no rush of adrenaline kicking in. There's nothing like that. So there's a smoother going to sleep, and a smoother waking up. So it helps us keep track more precisely of how long they'll stay under the drugs. Alright, Brandon's done, so he can answer questions now as well. And I'm at this end, and Brian's the other end. So if you guys have any questions? No, he's right.